Okay, we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with this evening's live stream, 7:35 p.m. it is today, and as always, going to be looking at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press. I forgot to put my intro on today, so apologies for that, but nonetheless, you know the format here. We'll get stuck into the news in just a moment. Going to be looking at some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times too, and also going into the chat section in the second half of the live stream to check out what viewers are saying there this evening. So if you are watching the live chat today, say hello. Now, straight into the news, and thousands of people have hit the streets in central Madrid to protest against the housing crisis and rising prices. Thousands of people took to the streets of central Madrid this Sunday to demand dignified housing and urge authorities to address Spain's growing housing emergency. The demonstration, attended by 15,000 people according to the government delegation and tens of thousands according to organisers, was called by nearly 40 social collectives under the slogan Dignified and Sustainable Housing Now. The protest was spearheaded by the Habitat 24 platform, the same group behind the revolution of the Keys March on the 13th of October. As a symbolic gesture, protesters gathered at the Puerta del Sol outside the headquarters of the Madrid regional government, where they jingled their keys and read a manifesto demanding urgent housing reforms. Among their demands is the expansion and enforcement of the state housing law, particularly the introduction of rental price caps to curb soaring housing costs. So the housing crisis, not fixed yet. I think this is one that's going to take years and years and years if you ask experts about this, because basically Spain hasn't built homes for the last 10 years, and that's why there's a shortage today. And the people that do have homes have taken advantage of this and raised their rent prices in the main parts of the country where people want to live. For example, Madrid, as we saw there, Barcelona as well, and the other big popular cities here in Spain where, as I said, people want to live. There is a cheap property available around the country, but in places where people don't want to live, of course, and that is the dilemma. So thousands hitting the streets, depending on who you listen to there. The government delegation, 15,000, but tens of thousands maybe in the 50s or 60s, according to the organisers of that event. So you can decide. Next piece of news here, and Vox leader Mr. Abascal chairs the Patriots Summit with European far-right leaders. The leaders of Patriots, the European parliamentary group uniting the main far-right parties in the EU, arrived in Madrid yesterday for their first major political event. Vox leader Santiago Abascal welcomed several prominent figures, including Marine Le Pen of France's National Rally, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, and Italy's Matteo Salvini, leader of the League and Deputy Prime Minister in Giorgia Meloni's government. Also in attendance was Dutch radical right leader Geert Wilders, who holds the largest share in the Netherlands coalition government, as well as Herbert Kickel, I think that is, the recent election winner in Austria. Representatives from far-right parties in Estonia, Greece, Poland, Portugal, and the Czech Republic also participated. The Patriots Group was established in the European Parliament following the June 2024 elections, spearheaded by Hungary's Orban, and they're going under the slogan, one of these slogans that, as we know, these political parties come up with. We know what's happening in the States with their political slogan, and of course here in Europe you would think that they would come up with something original, but this is what the group has come up with: Make Europe Great Again. So the mega movement here in Europe, will it take off in the European Parliament? We will see. We will see. It is in some countries, the ones that we saw there, Austria, Italy, what was the other one? The Netherlands, I think, another one that we saw. So in some countries, yes, but at a European level, not quite yet. So we will see if the group there gets the support needed to make changes according to what they want to do. We will see. Next piece of news here, and the Spanish economy has surprised the world. From black sheep to European powerhouse, nothing lasts forever. Reality is dynamic, and even the weakest student can excel and become an example for others. These principles perfectly fit the recent trajectory of the Spanish economy, which has teetered on the edge multiple times over the past 15 years, only to rise from the ashes. Gone is the image of a country intoxicated by a property bubble, a struggling economy that drew international attention during the financial crisis with a mix of pity and paternalism. Also fading is the bleak picture of the pandemic era, when GDP plummeted with no clear end in sight. Now Spain is once again in the global spotlight, but for entirely different reasons. It was the fastest growing developed economy in 2024, driving a stagnating Eurozone forward, with all major economic institutions predicting continued strength. In an overall climate of economic slowdown, Spain stands out as a bright spot, viewed with growing optimism by top foreign economists consulted by El País. So there we go, the Spanish economy that is surprising the world, from black sheep to European powerhouse. And call me a little bit skeptical, but we'll see how long it lasts. Hopefully, the economy does keep on going strongly in this country and people's lives are improved. But I get the impression, given that all of the social problems that we're living currently, I don't know whether it's going to be the case or not. Time will tell, but I've seen it happen before. Spain's economy was booming during the 2000s, and we all know what happened then. So hopefully, as I said, we can become a economic powerhouse long term, rather than the boom and bust economy which has been so common in recent times. Time will tell, as I said. And the final piece of news here, lots of countries expelling immigrants at the moment, most notably the United States, and Spain is no different. Spain expelled 3,000 foreign nationals in 2024. A total of 3,031 foreign nationals were expelled from Spain in 2024 following procedures initiated by the state security forces, excluding cases of deportations of irregular migrants to their countries of origin. According to data from the Ministry of the Interior consulted by Europa Press, the statistics show a significant increase in expulsions compared to 2021, when 2,025 cases were recorded. The trend has been progressively rising in recent years, with 2,627 expulsions in 2022 and 3,090 in 2023, a figure that was nearly repeated in 2024. The latest year with complete records. In a parliamentary response from March 2023, the government reported on expulsions over the past decade under Article 54.1 of the Organic Law 4/2000 on the rights and freedoms of foreign nationals in Spain and their social integration. It noted that 90% of the 101 expulsions at the time were processed for activities against national security, including 2 cases related to serious violations of the Organic Law on Citizen Security, commonly known as the GAG law. Activities against national security, you can work out what that is, but basically if you plan to cause great harm to the Spanish population, you get expelled if you get caught, and that, I imagine, is what they are referring to there, because as we know, various possible terrorists have been caught and sent packing in recent years. But I'm not sure what happens with regard to those other 3,000 plus expulsions from Spain in 2024. Now we'll go into the comment section, see what is happening there. The first one here from Stephen. Actually, many Canadians are boycotting taking vacations in the USA, and many are planning to sell their condos in Florida. The cost of living there has become too expensive. Has become too expensive to many retired Canadians, and the cheap shots that Trump is willing to annex Canada isn't rubbing right with most Canadians. Thanks, Steve, for that. We spoke the other day, I think, about the high prices in Florida when it comes to accommodation. I was looking to travel there maybe sometime soon, but the hotel prices with my salary were prohibitive, and probably one of the reasons is that many people from North America head to that part of the United States at this time of the year, thus increasing prices. But according to Steve, there not so many Canadians anymore. A bit peeved with what's happening between Trump and Canada, especially with all of the talk in recent times that Mr. Trump has been saying. So interesting times we're living, and according to Steve here, many Canadians selling their condos in the United States. Another one here from Mark. The housing prices in the north haven't moved for 20 years. I purchased a brand new apartment in 2006. I would be lucky to sell it today for the same amount. There are plenty of houses and apartments available, and seem the same properties for sale for years. My house, 4-bedroom, I purchased 7 years ago, had been for sale for 10 years. No one seems to want to buy. Yep, Mark, it all comes down to where you are, I think. Which city, if you're living in a city or whether you're living in a small town, as to whether the property market would be dynamic or not. But as we know, in the parts of the country where people want to live, the situation is that the prices are very, very high at the moment. But obviously where you are, that is not the case. And probably won't be changing anytime soon unless you can convince people to move to that part of the world. That's the question, right? It's all about supply and demand, as we know. When it comes to the real estate market. So thanks for the comment. But good to see that there are some parts of the country where you can still pick up reasonably priced property, I imagine. Now, another one here from One, or Dot, whatever you want to call it here. Right now, about 50% of the people you see in Arrecife are not locals. They are mainly Latin Americans. It's hard to tell who is a local and who is not. Locals can tell. Thanks, Dot, or no username here. Yeah, there is a big movement between the Canary Islands and some parts of South America, most notably Venezuela. Obviously, people from the Canaries, when times were tough there, went to South America looking to improve their fortunes. And now people in Latin America, given that things are a little bit tough there, moving to places like the Canaries to try to improve their future. And the accent is actually quite similar, I think. If you get a true Canary Island accent, similar to a South American accent rather than to a mainland Spain accent with the sale. And I imagine they find it quite easy to integrate in places like Arrecife, the capital of Lanzarote. So thanks for the comment, but I imagine that is something that has been going on for years, the movement of people between those two parts of the world. Another one here from Tranqui. El que llora no mama. Thanks, Tranqui, for that. This was the expression that I didn't quite... I don't think I said it correctly the other day. I might have said something different, but the correct expression is that. And if you want to get things done here in Spain, it's a pretty good thing to know, this one here. El que llora no mama. So basically, you complain and you try to get people to do things for you, especially when it comes to services and things like that. El que no llora no mama. Thanks, Dranky. Another one here from Teddy. I enjoy all of your content, Stuart. Thanks so much. And greetings from the Orihuela Costa, the pothole capital of Spain. Thanks, Teddy. I wasn't sure that I didn't know that the pothole capital of Spain was Orihuela Costa. Don't know what's going on down there with the local council and they're not fixing the roads. Why that is the case, I don't know. Probably don't have any money or they don't see it as a priority. But I do seem to notice here that the roads open quite quickly, especially ones with a lot of heavy traffic on them. And they're constantly being repaired. The area that I live here, they cover them up. They do like patchwork a lot of the times, and within 6 months, those holes are open again. And not good for the tires, not good for the suspension on your car, as we know. But a nice part of Spain, I think, is Orihuela Costa. I think that is the case. Thanks, Teddy, for that. Another one here from Imperial. Hi, Stuart. I'm skipping out on Menorca this year after many happy years holidaying there. There has been a crackdown on illegal holiday lets. Seems like hundreds of properties have gone from Airbnb, and alike there was an underlying sentiment that things have gone too far. For a lot of locals I know, prices are up drastically, and the usual local hire car company says he is in trouble and he expects bookings to be way down. Thanks for that. Yeah, sorry to see that you're not heading to Menorca, this year. Not happy that all of these illegal holiday lets have been cracked down on, disappeared, so it might be affecting your accommodation status. I've got no idea. But I did read today that the government announced, or they published a list of these illegal flats so that people know who is behind them on the island of Ibiza. So they might have done something similar in Menorca. I don't know. But the idea is to crack down on people that just decide to put their holidays on the short-term rental market without going through the proper regulation. Having the proper, fire exits and all of those things that you need to have to have when people are staying in your accommodation. Things that hotels would have to do, things that other legal types of rental property would have to do on that short-term market. A lot of these places do not do that, and that's what they're cracking down on. And no doubt it is happening not only in the Balearic Islands but in other parts of the country too. So thanks Imperial for that. And again, your holiday not going to happen in Menorca this year because of those reasons. And the final one here from Tony. Hi Stuart, I would never go to a bar or restaurant and take my top off. Get a bit of sunshine in the UK, and men are walking around in supermarkets with their tops off. My local supermarket in Spain has banned people from entering if you don't have a top on. Yeah, thanks, Tony. I imagine Tony's on the coast where people would walk into these premises without their shirts on. Doesn't really happen here in Madrid, of course. People tend to get around with their kit on, but I imagine in some of the coastal parts of Spain, it is the case that people don't know where the beach ends and the town begins. I think that's one of the problems for a lot of people. And I spoke about this the other day, my recent trip to Lanzarote. I was going to say Fuerteventura, but it was Lanzarote. And we were sitting down having something to eat, and a pair of gents sat down on the wall in front of the restaurant and took off their shirt, and it wasn't the most pleasant sight that I have seen. So a bit of an issue there when it comes to these coastal resorts and people not really knowing the etiquette of when to keep their shirt on and when to keep it off. If you've got a nice looking body and you want to show it off to people, go get onto the beach, take your shirt off down there. But when you're sitting in front of a restaurant with people trying to enjoy their meal and the sea views, maybe move on, I would say. And going into a supermarket, again, where does the beach end and where does the town begin? That's the question. Now, we're going to go into the chat section in just a moment. Before I get there, I'm going to change the backdrop picture. This one was sent in by Barbara, who was recently in Seville by the look of it, and has sent this photo through here of, I can't remember exactly what this these things are called. I'll see if I can look it up, but apparently it's quite an interesting thing to see, this architecture in Seville. These, whatever they are called, I can't remember. But anyway, thanks, Barbara. I'm sure somebody in the chat section will be able to let us know what these things are called in the city of Seville. But a lovely looking city, a rooftop view that we have of the city of Seville there. And if you've got a similar picture to Barbara's that you would like to see on the backdrop here, the email address is spainspeaks@gmail.com. Feel free to send your pictures through, as Barbara has done. Barbara also sent some pictures through from Valencia, I think, as well. So Barbara's been busy traveling to different parts of the country and snapping away. Thank you very much, Barbara, for that. People that, if you haven't hit that like icon yet, I'll just put that on the screen too. We're currently sitting at 47 likes. If you could do me a favor and hit that like icon, I would appreciate it. and we'll see if we can get up to a decent tally today. So just below the video, you'll find the like icon. So do us a favor and hit it, please. Also, to people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it be on Super Thanks, Buying Me a Coffee, Patreon supporters, thank you very much for that longer term support there. And also the channel members that have joined recently from 99 cents a month. You can become a member of this channel that will help me make more content into the future. And the most recent member is Steve, who joined the other day. So good to see you as a member on the channel, Steve. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to go into the chat section. Let's see what's bubbling away there. Let's see. Los setas. That's what it's called. Thanks, Dave, for pointing that one out. Los setas. So the mushrooms in Seville. I knew it was something like that, but I couldn't quite remember it when I needed to, unfortunately. Terry's the first person in the chat today. I tend to miss these live chats and catch up later, but I've been laid up with a mega flu. I've never had worse, so hope to join you tonight from bed in Gosport, South Hampshire, United Kingdom. Thanks for that, Terry. Hope you are well getting over that mega flu, as you are calling it there. Lots of people have been struck down in recent times by this the flu that's going around, a bit of mix of different things, I think. So take care, Terry. Take care. Janet coming in from Oxford. No improvement in the weather, sadly, but it's winter. That is true. That is true, Janet. It is winter. Al's in the chat, waiting for the Super Bowl, no doubt. Vuelan las Águilas. Vuelan. There's the 15 degrees Celsius in San Diego. Go Birds. Alan, of course, from Philadelphia originally, hoping to take the Super Bowl home whenever it's on. I think later today, US time, early morning Spain time. So we'll see if they can get the job done today. I think there's an Australian guy playing in the Philadelphia Eagles team. I could be wrong, but he's playing in one of the teams. I think it's the Philly Eagles. Let us know. Pretty big boy he is too. I think he's a 160 kg boy, and he runs around on the football field creating havoc. High flyers in the chat too. Evening after a long day at work. Estrella Galicia on the live stream to rescue. Have a great week. Thanks, John, for that. Hope you have a great week too. Brad's in the chat. Good evening to everyone. Good to see you, Brad. Renon's in the chat today too, coming in from Los Angeles. Santiago is quite short and sweet. Hello. Bajan, hola todos. Good to see you, Bajan, in the chat too. The Jazz Shed is here as well from Bury St Edmunds. Good evening from a chilly Bury St Edmunds. Santiago says, I've heard bureaucracy was easier before to build. Nowadays, it's a nightmare. To be honest, I don't know, Santiago. I haven't built anything for a long time or purchased anything that has been recently built. Back in the day, it was a nightmare. I don't know whether it was easier or not. So it all depends on your local council, I think, and whether you get a builder that is willing to complete the work, probably as well. Can be very bureaucratic. What else? Let's have a look here. Rocky. We lost so much time and energy trying to buy in Spain, we gave up and settled on Albania and Italy. There we go. Rocky saying goodbye Spain, too difficult. Lorraine saying hola from Malaga. Good to see you, Lorraine. I think a first-time viewer, not sure. Haven't seen Lorraine's name before, I don't think. Jose says, I saw the headline and for once, frankly, don't want to listen to how bad you think things at. Thanks, Jose. See you later then. Goodbye. I'll refrain from saying anything else. Has the air cleared up in Los Angeles, Renan? Let us know about that. So 28 degrees, in Arizona. Surprise from Gigi, regular viewer. Is Gigi, valued member 2. Eric is in the chat. Hi from Terrassa on Friday night. It finally rained for a good 7 hours. Really necessary. There's not much rain since November. Hope everyone has had a nice weekend. Chicken empanada ready for dinner. Thanks, Erica, for that. Pamela's coming in. Good evening, Stuart. Thank you very much, Pamela, for that. Good to see you. Gerald saying, hi, I really enjoy the channel. There are a lot of cheap properties in inland Spain. I thought that said Ireland there for a minute. Inland Spain, saludos. Yeah, places where people don't want to live, basically, Gerald. That is the situation. So, yeah, if you don't mind living in those places, but people here don't, basically because they don't have the services that they feel they need, and young people can't get jobs, so they head to places where they can get jobs. Helen, hello from me too. Thanks, Helen, for that. The Renaissance age has arrived. Watch for great innovations in the midst of unrest. Thanks, CL. Not sure what CL's referring to there. What else we got going on here? Fluttergirl coming in from a snowy Toronto. Jose saying it's no better in the UK, probably even worse. We are inundated with spivs and thieves. There is no regulation and the government, as usual, does nothing. That's quite harsh there, Jose. Thanks for that. One here from Antonio Garcia. Hello, Stuart. The economy of my country, Spain, doing well? No way. It's not doing average. It's doing absolutely and awfully bad. All debt. We're growing and will pay in the future, growing by debt. Yes, Antonio, lots of countries in the same situation. Debt seems to be the model that countries are taking, as the economies haven't been going too well over the last couple of decades or so. But maybe things will turn around for Spain. Maybe things will turn around. I don't know. Carmen, hola todos, from Santa Monica, California. Clear and sunny, 16 degrees up to 18 degrees Celsius later. Johnny, having a great week. What else we got going on there? Thanks, Johnny, for that. Valued member is Johnny. As a Floridan who voted for Kamala, I'm thrilled to hear that Canadians are going to finally punish Florida for its terrible politics. Well, that was only one person's word only, so we'll see if it is true or not. But you never know if the Canadians will punish the United States by selling their holiday homes. Yeah, don't know. I think Canada, and I've seen it with other countries as well, the smaller populations, the bigger populations, it's difficult economically, of course, because you depend on the bigger economy sometimes. What else we got going on here? Andrew's in the chat as well. Hope you have a good weekend from a cold and wet London southeast. Sani missed the beginning of the live stream. We'll be catching up later. Hope everyone is well. Thanks, Sani, for that. We're in the... Renon's got back here saying that the ashes have cleared from the rain. Dave is in the chat, as we saw before. My Venezuelan-born wife's father was from Tenerife. Now most of her family has returned to Spain. The circle goes around. There are also many Cubans living in Tenerife. Yeah, Dave, it does. That's what I said before, wasn't it? That the circle goes around. People go there when things are good. People come back, of course, when things are better, where they originally came from, or where their fathers or grandfathers or parents came from. That is true. It is true. Roland from Minnesota, minus 14 there. It's a bit chilly. Patricia, hello. After a long time catching the live stream from Tenerife. Thanks, Patricia. Good to see you again. The Setas, says Janet. Yeah, well, thanks, Janet, for that. The Setas. I knew people would be able to sort me out on that. Elizabeth, go Birds, from a chilly Philadelphia. Another Philadelphia Eagles supporter there. Who's the other team? Who's the other team in the Super Bowl? Let us know. I think it's the same one that's been there for the last... Kansas City, is it? The Kansas City Chiefs, I think. The last few years they have been there. Carterman, your description of a topless man in resort areas makes me think of paparazzi photos of old geezer oligarchs on beaches with sweet younger things. There we go, Carterman. Yeah. What else? Let's have a look. MAP or MAP Guitars. I love the videos. It's great to get Spanish news outside of Spain. My goal is to live permanently return to Spain permanently. I hope all goes well for you, MAP. You do get back. Cheers from Barcelona, the AG. Melissa, haven't caught a live for a while. Enjoy the channel. Love the restaurant reviews. A big salute there from the Basque Country. You're hopefully doing more restaurant reviews. I enjoy doing them as well. I'm trying to find the best menú del día in Spain, if that's possible. Starting off slowly. Hopefully it'll get better from here. I found some good ones, but the perfect one, not yet, I don't think. You often get a good first course. The second course lets you down. Sometimes you get a good second course, but the first course has let you down. Of course, the dessert sometimes leaves a lot to be desired. Rarely get the perfect menú del día. I'm striving for it, however. Jamie, ¿qué tal? Enjoying the great content as always. Keep up the good work. Coming to you from a wet Ashford in the UK. Business booming in the south of Andalusia. Thanks, Brad, for that. Heidi's just joining now. A bit croaky. Hope I'm okay. Yeah, the throat's a bit croaky. Maybe it's the change in temperature. We've had quite cold nights, Heidi, warmer days, and I think that's what's caught me out. Might have a bit of a cold coming on as well. I had to go somewhere last week where there were quite a few teenagers present, and you want to see runny noses, get a group of teenagers in the same room, and wowee, if you come out of there without getting the cold or getting a cold or a flu, you're lucky. Loy says, I'm Spanish. The prices of houses are the same as 2008. The minimum wage is double, $1,300 a month. How is it possible? A housing crisis. Don't know, Lois, but that's what we've got. That's what people are complaining about. So Dave's saying Florida's a wonderful place to visit and live. I have no doubt about that. Dave, no doubt. Howdy from Chile, Michigan, says Jane. Yes, cold in parts of the States. Hosteleria and taxistas, all manned by Ecuadorians, Colombians, Venezuelans who speak lovely, clear Spanish. Unemployment down. Thanks, Brad, for that. That is true. Debbie's coming in from Florida in the USA. Obviously would second Dave's words there that it's a great place to live. Seville is spectacular, says Jean-Paul. And Brad saying here, the mobile Petri dishes for young people. Exactly, mobile Petri dishes are young people. I couldn't believe it the other day. There were probably 15 people in this room, and at least 6 were coughing, sniffing, spluttering. Unbelievable. But anyway, that is life, right? That is life. We've all been there. We've all done that. Now I'm going to wrap the live stream up. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back again on Tuesday with another one. Hope to see you there. Hasta luego. Hasta entonces. Adios and bye-bye.